my son wants a project. So we are here to pick up a 1984 Corvette. These two tires are flat. Attempt to get it onto the trailer. Hey, little guy. Oh, there he goes. All right, here's the first car wash. Well, we're back working on the 1984 Corvette. And we got my boy out here and my little girl back there. They're still on the hopes to find something. And so far, what we are doing is put the intake on and the carburetor, and now we're figuring out all the small stuff. So let me get on the other side and I'll show you what I already did on that side and what we're working on. What we did do is we took off the whole Crossfire fuel injection system, the valve cover gaskets, the valve covers, took them off, the upper and lower intake manifold for the Crossfire fuel injection. Those were already in the box to get rid of. And now we put the intake manifold on. That's an Edelbrock. I'll look on the other side and tell you what model number it is. I'm on the driver's side now. And I bought this aftermarket bracket right there, which is an Edelbrock 8026 transmission cable adapter. It goes on this lower part here, and that's for the kickdown. This is a transmission kickdown. So Austin is putting together the bracket over there that actually we do believe mounts here, and then the throttle cable and the transmission cable will connect to. So he's working on that. Once that's done, we're gonna try to figure this out. We're gonna try to get the distributor in today. Our valve covers come in tomorrow. That's mainly the only thing we don't have that we have to purchase, that he decided to purchase online. We have to try to figure out the throttle. We got a larger belt, so we're gonna try to put the larger belt on. We got new thermostat, gooseneck, and we have a fuel regulator we got to put on. So we are trying to get it a little more done today. We won't be able to start it, like I said, because we don't have any valve covers for it. And then they're out here assisting. They're out here assisting with us, keeping an eye on us, as usual. All right, so let me put you up there, and then we could finish, get something done here. Amazon just left. New intake, or new valve cover, new gaskets, T-posts, valve cover breather, 90 degrees for the 5/8 water hose, a longer belt, throttle springs. This is for the brake booster, get vacuum to the brake booster. This is a proper attachment to the carburetor for the Chevy throttle cables. Fuel hose. So we're going into the garage. We're going to see if we can put more of this together today. So we just brought some of the Amazon parts out from the delivery. Austin's going to start working on the fuel system while I redo the carburetor here with the proper throttle cable and the other stuff that I bought, or the other stuff that arrived, I should say, Austin bought. And we'll see what we can get done. So we spent about an hour and a half tinkering, trying to put stuff together. We got that side pretty much together, except we got to take the valve, he's going to take the valve cover off to remount the air conditioning pump right there. And then this coolant temperature sensor is wrong, has the wrong wire connectors. So I'm going to stop at O'Reilly's a little later, get that. Hooked up the coolant lines, hooked up the fuel line temporarily right there. I put the new bracket right there. That's that little piece there, you had to buy extra. That little piece there, you had to buy extra. He's gonna put the valve covers on this side. He's gonna put the spark plug wires on this side. I'm getting ready to leave here. He'll put the thermostat housing on, which is right there. And let me show you on the other side the stuff we did with the fuel. Back on the passenger side. So we cut out the old fuel lines that snaked up through here. When you're switching over from fuel injection to carburetor, you got to lower the fuel pressure. So we got a pressure regulator right here. We have a feed and a return, and then this side goes to the carburetor. But right now it's just gonna be temporarily run like that, because once we replace the headers, we put headers on, we'll be able to hopefully find a better place to mount that in there somewhere. And the belt that I got was an 86.5 inch. 85.5 inch was too short. 86.5 inch is too long. So I'm gonna see if I could get an 86 inch belt. And then I also have to find the vacuum there for your brake booster. All right, everything is set up temporary. Distributor isn't even tight. All the vacuum lines are just run. All the spark plug wires are just thrown on, hopefully in the right order. No antifreeze, no belt. So we're just gonna see if no fuel. The fuel pump's disconnected in the tank. So we're gonna just see if everything turns over the way it's supposed to. So we're gonna bump the throttle first, and then maybe I'll do a shot of ether, just for ha-has. All right, go ahead, Austin. All right, try it. All right, try it. All right, shut it off. We're gonna hook up the fuel pump and see if we can start messing with that now. It says we're supposed to have fuel pressure, our fuel regulator. We have no clue even how this works. Turn the key on. Let's see what happens with this. Don't turn it over though. Just turn the key on. All right, turn the key over a little bit. I got something there. Turn the key off, turn it back on. Turn it on. Try cranking it. And this went up to, I think, like 9.
Okay.
So it wasn't 30 like some people were saying. All right, do it again.
Burning.
You got so many new parts on this. This is all
no, it's the PV weld. Look at it.
No, it's the whole exhaust.
No, it's very clearly you're welding.
No, it's not. I'm looking at it right here.
I'm looking at mine and they're smoking like candles. So I'm gonna look for it downstairs.
Oh, we got fuel leak here.
Yeah, because it's barely on.
All right, well, let's try it one more time for ha-has, but then we'll shut it down, and then tomorrow we'll go look for the timing light tonight. Tomorrow night, we'll dress up the belts. We'll get we'll see if we could get a better hose for the gooseneck, or vice versa, get a new gooseneck. And then
and like fix all the temporary shit we did.
Yeah, and fix it. Go through everything. Try to time it. Try to do all the wiring. Fix all the leaks here.
Right.
Because there's a lot. Okay? All right. All right. Well, we got it to pop in the beginning. The timing is not even close. And I think I held it wide open throttle when he was cranking it by accident because we don't have a throttle spring on here yet. We got to do a throttle spring from down here to over here. But yeah, everything's together. It idled a little bit. It ran. So tomorrow we're going to clean up all these pulleys. You see all the pulleys have big rust spots on them. Let me zoom you in. So we're going to clean all these up with a belt or sander tomorrow. We're going to get rid of as much temporary stuff as possible, like the 16 feet of vacuum hose here and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to find my timing light so we could try to time it. We gotta lower the fuel pressure. That's at 9. We're gonna drop that down to probably like 6. And we'll go from there. All right, that's it for today. A little smoky in here. We gotta air out the garage. It runs. Now we gotta do the clean up the pulleys and get the coolant going. Standing on the passenger side, let me show you what we did. Neatened up all the spark plug wires. We had temporarily attached the electric choke. I got found 12 volts right here. This is from, I do believe, one of the injector wires. When the key is on, 12 volts, grounded it to the carburetor. The carburetor is grounded through the engine block. Still got to put a block breather on here, so we have an open port there. We're using the old gooseneck right now and the old radiator hose and only water because we got to take this off. We have a new radiator hose and gooseneck coming. And then what we got to do is we got to put a 3-inch extension in so it can go back down. We're probably going to cut it there and put a 3-inch metal extension piece right there. And then the radiator hose will be linked in properly going around. We had a little fuel leak right here where the fuel gauge goes, but we should have taken care of that. Our fuel regulator pump, we zip tied to the AC lines temporarily right here. This is all the wiring harness for the fuel injection system that we got rid of. We put a new coolant temperature unit in right there. I sanded down all the pulleys with a wire wheel and got those rust spots off, so hopefully it doesn't eat up the new belt. It's an 86-inch belt, I do believe. It's just timed by ear right now. We only had it running for a few seconds, so but I have it tightened where it is, so it is running. So coolant line going up here from here. Obviously transmission. Here's your oil dipstick right there. Let me go over on the other side there. Over on the driver's side, you can see the coolant belt is supposed to come down here. So when we get the new one in, it's too short with the new intake. So when we get the new one in, we're gonna splice it here, put a 3-inch extension on it. That'll take this 45-degree fitting or elbow, put it back here through this hose harness. Neatened up the wires. I just JB welded. I cut all the air tubes off these exhaust manifolds. I JB welded them temporarily because we're gonna be putting headers on. I just zip tied the wires away from the exhaust. I got all new hardware up here. This vacuum back here we're not using. Our brake booster, we got to get a new line. This is all dry rotted. It comes all the way from here, snakes all the way through the valve into the back of the carburetor. So that's going to be removed, all new line, and then put that valve, this inline valve right there. I think that's a one-way check valve. We'll put that over here out of the way. This here goes to the tachometer, which is not hooked up. And our air cleaner system does not fit. Oh, and I put the engine hook, engine lift, the factory engine hook. I sanded it and painted it. I put that there for spring return. These are just some Edelbrock spring returns for the throttle. The throttle cable is wicked long, so it comes out of the firewall. We did a loop with it, comes back and over. This is a transmission kickdown. And then, I'm not sure what this is yet. We haven't figured that part out yet, but this was another throttle cable that goes from the throttle. So we're not sure if this is part of the cruise control or if it's part of the transmission. Kickdown, we're not sure yet. But we don't have it hooked up because we're just trying to get this thing running for now. the vacuum right here off the front of the carburetor. This one, from what I could tell, is when we switch over to a vacuum advance, which this one does not have. The carburetor vacuum advance vacuum line will come over to this port here, this airline. This port here is basically, from what I could tell, is auxiliaries. So I ran that into the vacuum line system that feeds the dashboard and comes along the fender wall here and goes into this. This is like an air reservoir, a vacuum reservoir. Charcoal canister is going to be removed and gotten rid of. Like I said, the belt is on. We haven't started it up yet with the belt. Austin is putting in the passenger seat in the driver's side because the driver's seat is beyond repair. And the passenger seat's not much better, but at least that way he has a seat. So we're gonna try to start this thing now for the first time with a belt, garage door open. Everything's pretty much hooked up except for that one valve cover breather. And we're gonna see what happens. So fingers crossed. So this is the first time of him sitting in the seat, and we are going to attempt to start it. No gas, Austin, just try to turn it over. Let's see what happens. Make sure you're in park. All the way forward. Is your foot on the brake? Because we redid all the brakes, took them all off. So he's not gonna have any brakes either, and the front is still up on the ramps. All right, go ahead, Austin. Try to start it. No gas. That was too easy. Anything work on the dash? I got a light still up on the hood, so. No gauges, no nothing on that, huh? Pull the light switch out. All right, it's gonna be a lot of smoke. I'm surprised there's no mice running out. Put your foot on the brake. You have no brake lights either. No brake lights, no nothing. There's a mouse nest inside there. That's not you? All right, hold on. Now try it a little. Little. That's one spring. All right, hold on. Gotta check for fuel leaks, gotta check for everything because we had a big fuel leak there before. You have brake pedal? Does it feel good?
I can feel like I'm pushing on something a little bit.
You feel, okay, so hold it, put it in reverse, get ready to shut it off too. Yeah. Get ready to put it in neutral, one more down. Put it back in reverse. Put it in neutral. Put it in drive, don't go forward. Put it in neutral. burning off 15 to 20 years of crud. It's getting better. You have no gauges at all. All right, go ahead and shut it off. You're in park, right? Okay, let's get some coolant in this thing. All right, maiden voyage. We're gonna idle it out, see if it moves. All right, so here's what we're deciding. We're not going to drive it out and take a chance at it not coming back in because we don't have a timing light and the carburetor is not adjusted. We didn't touch the carburetor. We just took it out of the box, threw it on there. So we're going to do a little more research on that, and we're going to pick up a new timing light tomorrow or try to fix mine and go from there. But we are getting readings on that dashboard very lightly. Our temperature, or water temperature, coolant temperature is ranging from 190 to, what was the high, 200? Around 200, so 190 to 200, fluctuating. The electric fan's going on and off as needed. And don't forget, I just put pure water in it. The oil pressure is going up and down like 15 to 20. As from what we could see, which is kind of low, but it's also 20-year-old oil, I'm thinking. What was the other thing? What was the other thing?
The dashboard?
Yeah, with the tachometer. The fuel gauge showed that we're out of fuel, so that's working. But it's for some reason the LED dash is not lighting up. So we haven't even ventured into that, but we know we didn't overheat anything, and I don't hear any knocking from the engine, which is good. So the other thing is the air cleaner we have hits the distributor, the air cleaner cover. So we have to do some more investigating on trying to get an air cleaner that does not hit the roof or the hood and does not hit the distributor, because the other one hits the distributor that we bought. But we're good. No more fuel leaks, no coolant leaks right now. Like I said, all this is set up temporary just for now, just so we can get it running. We want to get it in the other bay. Eventually get it over the pit so we go start working underneath. But yeah, so we're good. We're calling it quits for the day. We're going to close up, let the garage air out, and we'll be back at it tomorrow after some research tonight. Progress. We got to get this thing timed. I adjusted the carburetor temporarily. I just did them both into that 1.5 turns out, and it seems to be running a little bit smoother. Our tachometer's not hooked up, but if we take a flashlight, you can actually see the gauges. We're at 200 degrees water. Oil temperature is 190. Yeah, right there. You You can see our water's at 200, 201, 202. Got to keep an eye on that because we don't know if we only have water in it. 203. Our tachometer is not hooked up. 192 oil. Water temperature went back down to 200 because the fan kicked on and the thermostat opened up. Oil temperature is 193. Do the oil pressure, Austin. We have 80 psi for oil. Do voltage. Voltage is over there. We got 14.1 volts. So it's getting there. We'll get it timed up tomorrow. There we go. Not too bad, not too much smoke in there. We'll get it timed up tomorrow and we'll be able to get it going a little better. So we still got to strip this entire dashboard, but this is why. Right in there. So we are going to strip this entire thing, all this out. You can see how bad it is. In there. So we're gonna strip the entire thing and I'm gonna pressure wash it basically. But once we get the engine running nice and smooth, we'll be good. You can see what I did with these belts, with the pulleys. I took the wire reel to them, took all those spots off of them. So that's good. Brakes are working. The fan's going on and off all by itself. We got a high idle right now too. Once it's all timed and adjusted, we'll be good to go. We should be good. All right, we're done for the night. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, we got the dashboard all apart on the Corvette. Trying to figure out why the dash doesn't work. One thing we found out is, see if I do this out, anything falling out. Here's your dashboard. And we thought all these light bulbs were burnt out. They weren't. They were completely corroded. So we took them all out, cleaned them, cleaned the contacts, figured out all the pins here, all of these pins, and then found out that this transistor right here, right there, which is connected to the photo cell, and here, right where my finger is here, is not working. So this capacitor here, we tested with the ohms meter, with the multimeter, and that's good. This is bad. So now what we are trying to do is figure out a way to bypass this. And basically what this does is this lights up these 4 light bulbs right there. These 4 light bulbs backlight your whole dashboard. Our dash is working, except we can't see it because it's not backlit. So basically what we're gonna do is, while we're waiting for this new transistor right there to be shipped, we're actually gonna jump that with a piece of solder, and that will just leave them on full brightness. And then once it comes in, we'll take it all apart again and resolder a new one in there. So it's after midnight and we're still working, actually at the kitchen table with car parts all over it.
I think it's still soldered to it a little bit. Can you try cleaning it
So
up?
here's the photo sensor from the dash. This won't get in focus, but right there, turn it over. And we gotta get the actual sensor out of that housing right there. And that's what we think one thing is wrong with this, with the dashboard lights. So the photo sensor itself, you're bypassing that photo sensor.
Transistor.
Left turn, high beams, right turn, I mean. High beams, right beam, right turn, high beams.
I can see him, Father.
4 very bright lights. 4 hours later, we got it working. These here, we got them in the garage. They blocked the light there. but he figured out how to get the dash light. Austin actually found the schematics online. He got his little Ouija board looking thing here and started playing with the pins on that side. We bypassed the, no, we didn't bypass the sensor. What did we bypass?
Transistor.
The transistor that dims the dashboard. So at least the dashboard's gonna be have all lights, so we'll be able to see, and all the gauges work. All right, we're good. It's 2:30 in the morning. One of the big things was the corrosion in all these pins. These pins are actually connected to the bottom circuit board or the actual lead crystal display, and they have long pins sticking up, and these are all corroded in here. So we just used a file set right here and clean these out too, and now it works.